What is going on, everybody? My name is clutchsometimes, bringing you some no longer power rankings, I guess, because we're terrible. Um, we're gonna do a playoff preview to make up for our lack of power rankings recently. But and I'm joined by not just M Dragon this week, but M Dragon. You can say hello first.
Yo, how's it going, guys?
But I'm
Back finally.
we are back. I am rejoined by BTown and Frozen as well. They can say hello.
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 Okay, so we are going to talk very briefly about promotion relegation playoffs and moving that into Premier League as well. But very briefly, we are going to talk about Kyle, who won Division 2 this season, will be getting the auto up to the Premier League. So just the team with the number one
Congratulations
pick.
to Kyle.
Congrats to Kyle.
Yeah.
Lele was.
I mean, to be fair, Kyle is a really good battler, and it was a little unfair to Division 2. He has won a league before in the past. Granted, he has claimed it is an unleague, but winning a league is still winning a league. And he did make playoffs in PBL Season 3, so he is a really good battler. It's not a surprise, especially with the broken team he drafted.
That team's absolutely like Lele plus Sand is just such a natural pairing, especially with T-Tar existing.
Just like in general, I think Strong Psychics plus Sand is just so fucking strong.
It
like
really is.
It's like having used one before with like Megaladios, it's your opponent just doesn't have. It's like impossible for your opponent to have adequate checks to that kind of thing. Like I don't think I've seen a single team that can defensively check that kind of offensive core.
It's incredibly
and then
tough.
Plus he's got like really good support around it with Rose Raid and Slowbro specifically.
I love Rose Raid on that team, just like spiking up for that huge Excadrill Absol Tyranitar just
Right.
forces.
Yeah.
Even Gooder's done pretty well for this team.
Girder's a pretty good Pokemon. I think it's a completely underrated threat.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Kyle
it's-
has done really well.
I think what's important to point out is that sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Clutch,
Absolutely.
but he really just like he earned his way here. He didn't like just ride on the back of his team. He also rode in on great prep, great play, just like always knowing what to do. Like he earned his way. There's really no other way to say it. He didn't make any excuses for himself. He just said like, I'm the best player here. I'm gonna show it to you and make Premier League.
And that's exactly what he did. Premier League is pretty full as well this season, as just like such a tough like area. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah.
Conference or not, but like, yeah,
League, I guess. I don't know.
Kyle absolutely demolished his way through D2. Most of D2. He had a couple losses here and there. All three to very good. Well, two to really good players. One to a little bit.
Yeah, offensively, the team is nearly unstoppable to prep for, but there are a couple of defensive weaknesses to the team that's able to break through if you have a really good offensive threat. But like I said, Kyle did an excellent job all season long of just making sure that he had the offensive pressure so that that little weakness on defense never showed its face.
Yep. And
Yeah.
In the times it did show its face, like it obviously
Slowbro's a
showed.
really good pivot as well.
Slowbro too.
Banders.
Banded Landorus was an absolute problem to that team, and I don't know if there's anything Kyle could possibly do. It's very tough, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really is.
It's,
But
Yeah,
he doesn't have
he
to play
just-
it anymore, so
exactly. Yeah, he's done. His deed is done. He got the wins he needed to. He took every opportunity he got to the fullest extent. And he also like he really knew what his team was. He didn't try to like turn it into something that it wasn't.
Yep.
He didn't, like he knew it was a mostly offensive team, and he played it like that, and it worked.
absolutely. All right, so I think we should move now into our promotion relegation playoffs. We talk briefly about these matchups, just to give these D2 players some time to like have some little like time on the channel because we don't give them that much. I suppose. PRs have been all.
Oh yeah,
one.
and an update for the quick update for the D1 side of the promotion relegation playoffs. I ended up not being in last place, so
Hey. Unfortunately,
but I still have to face two very tough battles if I want to stay in Dreamer will also be sharing my fate of trying to fight for our lives, while Link unfortunately was the one who got the boot.
Unfortunately, the team just wasn't for him. I suppose it was a really cool team. I obviously it's shown to work before with the double weather, but under Swiss,
it was just I think it was just. I think my main problem with Link's team is just that it's just. Let me just pull up his team real quick. Here it is.
Link admitted to me that he's tried weather multiple times and has failed every single time. So doing double weather was a very huge risk, and it did end up backfiring for him. He has admitted that he hasn't done well with weather teams in the past, and he just doesn't really mesh with them.
I think the lack of speed control outside of drill was a big problem for him early season, and then he added Levi, which kind of helped. But like, I think he's won 0 games since adding Weavile.
Yeah, I think he didn't really bring it that much, and then the one time he brought it, like, didn't really do that much work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just.
It's like Link's team is just trying to be a jack of all trades when it's like it's just it's really it's just watered down on all sides. Like the weather's pretty lackluster. Like I think Gigalith's a pretty shit sand setter, especially when compared to Pokemon like T-Tar and even Hippowdon. They're just like great, tremendous, like all around mons like that you can use as a wall and as offensive pressure. And Gigalith doesn't really do. It just kind of sits there, sets up Stealth Rock, sets up Sands, like Toxics. You have Sun. You have like a few aspects of Sun which are just kind of thrown in there for like.
I think
no
Victor
other
Bell's like super awkward on this team. It just like especially when you don't have arrows answers on a team with T-Tar Drill. And not T-Tar Drill, Gigalith Drill. He did have T-Tar Drill.
He did have T-Tar Drill when he drafted it.
He has no real ground resist on this team, which I think was a huge problem.
Yeah, he has like 3 immunities, but that's not really what you're looking for.
Again, like Zygarde came in twice.
Yeah.
So like Zygarde 10 plus Zygarde 50, he struggled mightily with both of those.
That being said, the team still scares me whenever I look at it.
Trying to check T-Tar plus like I'm so used to the team I had to fight for had T-Tar. Trying to check Excadrill, trying to for Uniclus, and Uniclus Charizard Y has no switch-ins ever.
Yeah, I think this team is just a problem of great high tier picks, but like it really emphasizes like how important getting good lower tier mons are.
Absolutely.
Because like having just those, even if you're only going to bring them like 2 or 3 weeks, they can be vital in keeping your season alive. Yeah,
absolutely.
Let's go ahead and move on to the two teams that are two teams. Just kind of a recap of my team and Dreamer's season, how we got to here. Me, that's kind of the same situation with me. I just didn't end up drafting anything. I just didn't draft something that was me. I'm kind of a more offensive kind of player, and trying to draft balance, I think, kind of backfired for me. I also just kind of messed up my team when I tried to change it.
I think Dragon's mentioned this before, but like the lack of Stealth Rocks on your team is a big problem.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have Stealth Rock options. It's just the lack of convenient Stealth Rock options.
Bisharp is not a good Stealth Rocker.
Bisharp is the best Stealth Rocker.
Yeah, so like, the main
you go
on.
Okay.
So the main sort of issue with the team is like it doesn't have enough offense. Like when you have like Celesteal balance, you want to like back it up with like good rockers, because Sully is really good with rocks on the opponent's side of the field because he continuously float switches. Yeah, and you also want to have like some sort of like breakers, which this team kind of doesn't have outside of Embar, but Embar is kind of slow. We also have to realize the BTown got sniped multiple times on his draft.
A million times.
Early draft was such torture, honestly. But like every corner, just like every good mon just like went like that. It was...
Yeah, my team ended up being a real makeshift kind of draft, nowhere near what I wanted it to be. But then again, everyone else got sniped, so it's not an excuse. It was just wasn't me. A bunch of mons that I'm just not really good with. They didn't go well together. Dreamer, on the other hand, has a good team, has played well.
Um,
He's just been the victim of absolutely horrendous hacks.
It happens
As a
to one
dreamer-
person every season. It
Right.
just happened to be Dreamer this season, and it's so unfortunate when it happens.
Mhm.
And you just get
Yeah.
knocked down
You
over
just-
and over and over again, even though
It's frustrating because
you-
like it's the game. You know, you have this like mindset like, yo, it's the game we play, but also like it's just frustrating because there's nothing you can do
Right.
about it.
it's
Yeah.
like it's also frustrating in the sense that like you put so much effort into putting together a good team, a good game plan, and playing as best as you can in a game, and when it gets taken away from you and put in the hands of the Hacks gods,
RNG.
it's just
Yeah.
it's just heartbreaking. It's devastating.
Because like we've seen bright points of Dreamer. I'm sorry to bring this up. The
Absolutely.
Blossom has been
Blossom's a bad mon. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and say it is a bad mon, but Dreamer uses it amazingly well.
That man is a god.
I bet you,
Blossom.
guarantee you, any of us try to
Right.
use Blossom, it will not work.
Not a chance. His game against Granto
So-
was unbelievably phenomenal. Like just sub-toxic Hydreigon, and he made some great plays there.
Yeah.
Dealing with that.
Yeah,
The thing about
and it's
Dreamer's team is that I think he knows this, but he's kind of like defensive cores, like super weird. Like he doesn't have any fighting switch-ins at all.
His
Like
team-
Landers.
His team doesn't like knock that much either. I mean,
Yeah.
Terrakion obviously
His
isn't
team
that
hates-
great for knock, but like fighting plus knock is just like
Yeah.
so good against him.
Exactly, and a lot of fighting types get ice coverage as well, like Ice Punch. But I think he's used like some of the mons really well, especially Zam, Hydra, Lantern, and Blossom,
Yeah,
to
that's
name.
the
Oh,
Zam he
he's
brought against
second
me
half
was
use of Hydreigon.
the Zam he brought
His
against
second
me
half
has
use-
been
I'm sorry.
was unbelievable, like crazy. That man brought like barrier
Absolutely.
Zam, and I was terrified.
Oh,
He pulled
And-
out the barrier. I was like, oh, okay, this is not good.
That's Zam's one
Yeah.
weak point, and you take it away from me.
He's used Zam
Why
incredibly
is this
well.
cruel and unusual punishment?
Man, that Zam was trying to get revenge on me for like giving it scoliosis after season 2. Honestly. Yeah, I think
Also,
Should we
I
talk
think
about
he's
the-
used Lantern really well as well.
Mhm.
It's like really good tier 5.
it really is.
It's really
He
solid.
brought some
If
neat
you need,
miracles
like,
the times he brought it. The man made some really great. Yeah, I think it's just an unfortunate like. You can take like this man could have gone like at least 500, barring some of these like,
Yeah.
unfortunate events.
Absolutely.
Because he was set up to win against Jank, and I'm like the luckiest nine
And
tails I've
the
ever seen in
freeze.
my entire life. Just did it has done it twice now.
I swear, like it's something about Jank and Ninetales. Like Jank, like it just. I swear.
I said it's his daughter. Basically, Lola Ninetales is basically pet / daughter / whatever. There's a familial connection that can't.
Can't take it away.
Everyone has that one mon that will always do whatever you want for it. Famously for Shark, it's Kiram, and for and Frozen knows what I'm talking about. And for Jank, it's Ninetales.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I think we should move into the D2 like relegation playoffs, promotion playoffs technically as well. Let's just start in the top like left. I'll talk about Dreamer and Frog. That's who that is. Obviously, it's just like feel like natural, kind of a natural transition. Talking about Dreamer's team, I think his matchup with Frog is kind of like interesting.
And Frog, you got to give a lot of credit to Frog. He's, I think, the third different owner of this team, and
Yeah.
he's actually went over. He actually had an above 500 record last season, but decided not to come back, which is why he wasn't in the Premier League. So I mean, he was a very competent battler. So he was able to really
Yeah.
salvage the season.
Especially making do with like a pretty
I don't-
trash team, if you ask me.
I mean, it's all Lucha plus trash.
It's like it's Bulu Lucha, which is like really cool.
Yeah,
But then you have like
good.
Haxorus, which doesn't work well with Bulu in my opinion.
It makes you
And, like,
you're so reliant on like Earthquake for like steals
Like-
Yeah,
and like right
Yeah.
it's just
his ground type doesn't like support well with Bulu. It's just such a weird team, and it's so hinged on Lucha to win games for you. But like
Yeah.
obviously, like Lucha has done that because D2 doesn't know how to deal with like one turn win cons at times.
Yeah, it just has like a kind of a lot of bad mons, I feel.
Arbok. I don't like Fortress at all. I think it's garbage.
I will
think
defend
Fortress is
Fortress.
bad.
Thank you very much.
I think that mon is terrible.
I think Fortress is
I
pretty
defend
good
it.
as well.
You can defend it, BTown, but it will not change my opinion. I think Mega Glalie kind of an okay Pokemon. But,
I think
Now
I think
that
it's fine.
mod did not help me very well.
yeah, I think this team's weird, but it just kind of yeah, I think it's gonna be a tough matchup for him against Dreamer though. Personally,
Against Dreamer, yeah.
Zam is nasty. This B tier is
Zam is
ridiculous to catch up with because his darks
Right.
are like slow.
he doesn't have an Umbreon, but you know, maybe Bury or Zam can do it.
Barrier Zam can do it. I'm looking for his Blossom answers, and I see very few because Arbok is not a Pokemon.
It's funny that when someone preps for Dreamer, they
Fortress.
actually have to think about the Blossom answers, isn't it?
Fortress is not. No.
Yes,
no,
Fortress
no,
is your.
No.
Yeah,
No. AV Incineroar is his best bet for the
Yeah,
Blossom.
but
Right.
we gotta it's weak to rocks, so like he just forces which is a Vita.
Strength Sap.
Mhm,
Yeah.
Strength Sap.
As well as Strength Sap, yeah.
Um,
He's gonna get Grassy Terrain as well, likely.
I think Magneton trapping potentially a Klefki is great for Lucha. Because like that's
Oh, yeah,
one of his
absolutely.
outs,
Right.
that Pokemon. So
we
I
don't want
think-
to
I
talk
think
too
this
much
game-
about the
this-
matches.
in short, for me, this game comes down to like how well Lucha plays for Frog and how well Zam plays for Dreamer.
Yeah.
Okay, moving just right down the left side here. We'll talk about very briefly about Rich plus Rex.
I mean, Rex
Rex
has
has a
the
broken team.
advantage against every team. So
Rex is a straight broken team, honestly.
I think. I mean, like if you ask me, Rex is the better player. He's more experienced, especially in like UPA. Because like one thing I've noticed about leagues is that like different leagues have different cultures of battling, and Rex is very well seasoned in the UPA
This like circle.
yeah, the UPA circle and just like how everyone plays. Because he's been here like technically since season 1.
Because he was
And then,
a
like-
sub season 1, I think, for like one game.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
beat me in the last week when he filled in for Frog.
I think both teams are really good,
Um,
honestly.
Yeah, I do
Both
too.
teams,
I
like,
think
composition
Rex
is
has an
really good.
advantage though, for sure.
Because like
They're both top 3 teams, in my opinion.
I think so. I think Rex has a Coco and like it's a really good has like a solid matchup.
Yeah,
But at the same time, you also have Rich's team, which has Orlando,
Arguably,
which
not even arguably, like, it'd probably be the best ground type in the entire format, like bar none.
right.
I think.
Yeah, I don't
it's-
think
it's-
there's any doubt about
it's tough. It's a top 5 Pokemon, in my opinion, in the format.
Yeah.
I can't use it
I don't know if
I can't
anyone
use it to save my
that.
life, but I know everyone else can. So
Such a good Pokemon with Intimidate, and its double stabs are so nice.
Yeah.
Like,
especially with I think Z-moves and like Gen 7 mainlander is like arguably the best
Yeah.
Pokemon in the format, up there with
Yeah,
like Coco. And
Exactly.
yeah, not only did it give it Z moves, but it gave it defog as well.
Yeah, because if you didn't need any more roll compression on your Landorus, there's another one.
Yeah, I think the only thing it's missing is Roost. Like,
Yeah.
literally.
It needs you auto ban. That's an auto ban. You can't do that thing.
Rich has a great like really solid wish supporting Sylveon. Like it's a really solid team.
just to point out though, if Landorus got Roost, I think it would be like an incredible Stallmon, like on a stall team.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah, that would be. Because it's not weak to any hazard stall, which is huge for a Stolma.
Mhm.
I mean, basically, it's a more powerful Gliscor.
Yeah, minus poison.
Yeah.
So you can like status it and wear it down.
Yeah,
like,
but
you-
Intimidate is
on
better than
you always-
Poison.
Yeah, like on stall, you always have like clerics and stuff. So like,
If it had Roost, I mean,
yeah. Goodness. Yeah,
So, yeah.
I think Rex has advantage. It's really I think Rich definitely has like ways into that game for sure.
yeah,
Oh,
it's
he has
definitely
scouts.
not one of Rex's more easier matchups because Rex's team is very hard for many teams to handle, but Rich is probably one of the more harder teams for Rex to have to be able to handle that he doesn't have super big advantage over.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Rex has to play this game really well. I
Yes.
think. To like deal.
Yeah, especially because I think Rex won the first game.
Rex won the first game, and there was kind of some dirty stuff like hacks wise in the middle of it. So like that'll like be interesting to see how that like potentially comes around the second match as well. So moving on, let's move like diagonally across the bracket here. Move up to BTown versus BFMs. I know BTown probably be a little quieter on this one because just want like secret sets.
Yep.
I think
Volcarona is a bad mon. Don't bring it, BFMs.
Yeah, Volcarona is obviously terrible. It's the worst one.
Volcarona.
Any Pokemon weak to Stealth Rocks is bad.
Yeah, bad.
It's a really bad Pokemon. Like it just like all it does is quiver and then sweeps you like with after the quiver. It's like
it only destroys my entire team. Okay, don't bring it.
It's obviously terrible. It's just weak to Stealth Rocks. Like it dies a lot. Obviously, it's just bad. Don't.
It's a one-trick pony that just sets up Quiver Dance and then wins the game. Like who wants to run that?
Seems pretty boring to me.
Weakness policy.
Oh shit! I've never seen that set before in my life, but that's actually terrifying, honestly. But
watch me versus BTown season 1, and then you'll see that set.
Okay, but I'll look at that. I'll look at that afterwards. In all reality though, I think BFMs has like a really solid matchup.
Yeah, I think so too.
The previously stated Volcarona is obviously a big threat.
Yeah.
Just some really good offensive mons and Megalopunny and Reuniclus and Volcarona as well.
Mimikyu as well is just an absolute like. I think a well-played Mimikyu is like so good.
Like, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a great revenge card, and it's like a great to like deal with like some sweepers as well. Like just having that like this guy is just so frustrating at times.
Exactly. Yeah.
The fact that you have to go out of your way to break it is just like such an inconvenience.
Kind of like at the disposal of the Mimikyu user as well. Like they decide like when you get to break that disguise. It's such a control piece in some matchups.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very tough match. Definitely going to be a tough matchup. I don't feel confident at all.
Has been improved in the last couple seasons as well. So like it's good to see her playing some better mons with a relatively solid team like Lopunny, Pax, Reuniclus. It's like ridiculous. Volcarona is obviously just a Volcarona and is a threat. On BTown side, obviously Celesteela could have a potential somewhere.
Right, as well as like Latias, I think can do better work.
Raikou could do something like around Hawk specs as well.
Yeah.
Right.
It should be a fun game.
It should be a really fun game. I think it should be very interesting.
Yeah. What's the next one?
It'll be
game
Quizit versus
with the person who almost got that auto win, making it to D1, but unfortunately fell the last week, which was Sealy, and facing off against Quizith and the Absols. I will be honest, I am a little surprised that Quizith was actually able to make this team work because this team just looks so weird.
I think Swiss put it fairly high.
Yeah. I think it's got a few threats. Zero, tier 2.
No, I mean they're good mods on there. It's just such a weird team.
Agreed.
100%.
Yeah. I think with what's important to bring up about series is that he was like one of the only battlers, if not the only battler in D2 to consistently challenge Kyle's claim to the top. So I think it'll be really interesting to see like maybe Sealy has like a bit of a chip on his shoulder because it's like I was so close to getting that auto promotion and I lost it in the last week. So I think it'll be interesting to see how Sealy deals with that. As for the matchup, he's got a solid. Sealy has a solid advantage just because like Jirachi, I don't know how he deals with like Rachi adequately.
Yeah, Jirachi is a pretty good matchup.
That's my
I can think of one way, but I don't want to give it away. But that's it.
It's very hard. Okay, so that's gonna be the final matchup of D2, and let's take really quickly our guesses for West bracket winner and East bracket winner. I think on West for me it's Dreamer. I think Dreamer's just too good, honestly. It's Dreamer or Rex, I think, personally. I think that's my finals in the West, and like I think Dreamer.
I think the thing is that Dreamer shouldn't be here because he was hacked into this position. He shouldn't be here. So I think he's the favorite in that region.
I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah, same. Me too.
Frozen.
I think team-wise, Rex has the best team out of all the teams, but I think just realistically, right? I think realistically, Dreamer has the best chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think as well. Like, a team can only carry you so far. I mean, like, I had the number 1 rated team in the league, and I went 6-7. So
honestly,
it's like Dreamer's. He's the most seasoned veteran out of anyone. He's
absolutely.
He's like probably the best battler in my opinion. In West.
He's got playoff experience, so this will definitely help him in a single elimination.
Yeah, playoff experience is really huge in these like kind of scenarios. Because I don't know, because Rex has like his matchups from season 2. I don't know Rex history, so I think there's at least one more playoff experience bracket in there, so like that could help out.
Rex has won a playoff game before.
That's true. He won round 1 in season 2.
He beat Slayer. People don't.
That was a great. Both those games against Slayer in season 2 were great games, honestly.
Yeah.
All right, so move on to the East. Honestly, I think my favorite's Sealy.
You don't have to be modest. Sealy's probably is the favorite in that thing. I'll admit that my team does not match up well against his or Betham's or Quizith's at all. That if I had to put money as neutral observer, I would put Sealy. But I do appreciate the hesitation for thinking of it.
Honestly, I think I have to agree because even though I think Betham's has a really good chance because her matchups are really good, her matchup against Sealy isn't as kind as it is against BTown.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think if Quizith pulls the upset over Sealy, I think it's more favored potentially a Betham's, but I think overall I think it's Sealy.
I think Sealy should take it.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you guys.
All right, so
that doesn't mean no one can say that I have a chance.
I'm sorry, BTown.
I think you have a chance if you get past Betham's BTown, but that's going to be your biggest challenge.
That is a very, very tough match.
That's a steep hill to climb.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's time to move into the big boys.
All right.
And we'll talk about the Premier League.
Should we start it off with Not So Relaxes?
I think we start off with Not So Relaxes.
All right.
When's the last time we did ours? Like week
10?
Last time we talked about PRs, we talked about Fat Kelbio.
Oh, right. So it's been 4 weeks, guys.
It's been a month.
Kelbio had a +10 differential.
Keldeo is a good Pokemon.
Keldeo is good.
Prof has been phenomenal as of late.
Yeah, I mean, this is just. I mean, I feel like it's just been Prof season from the beginning. I mean, he had a hot start, and then like only lost a few games sporadically, but just kept winning. Like he never lost his losing attitude.
Here's something to note: Prof always loses week 1, no matter the league, no matter the team. He did it this time.
Yeah.
Is it a sign? What's the sign here? I don't know. He's been putting a lot of pressure on Landorus and Keldeo, and they've obviously been coming through because they're both fantastic Pokemon.
Absolutely.
And Mimikyu's been there, beating a Mimikyu and being a total pain in the butt for most teams.
I think Prof is taking really good advantage of his lower tier mons, which Frozen was talking about briefly earlier, about how your lower tier mons have to be good. Like Skunk Tank,
Licky has been good in matchups as well.
Licky.
I've seen
Tom
really
playing
good, like early stuff. Like he does a lot with Jordan in the early game. It's been like really good against some teams as well. Like I can't remember.
Drodigan's an amazing defensive dragon.
I think he did like a ton of stuff like early on with like against Grant. So he's like Avon. That was the Fat Keldeo game, but like
See, it's really important to like actually grab good lower tier mons and not just fill out your type chart. Like
exactly.
And Prof really he played the best of both sides because he got the types he needed to while also grabbing like really solid mons. Like
really
Tank
good
is a
mons.
terrific pursuit trapper,
Definitely.
in my opinion.
Jordan
is a great physical
really good
wall.
pairing with like Keldeo, just to, like trap bigger psychics.
Yeah, and without like the bulky water on this team, I think Drodigan really helped fill in the hole of like needing a fire type switch in.
Absolutely.
And like Lino can like be like a pseudo fire resist at times, but like not against like of course.
He's used Landers really well. Like he's brought a ton of different sets.
He's really like
set up Scarf.
Really like dove into like the entire arsenal of like Landers and very high level.
Bringing special, all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so moving to our number 2 seed. So close. Talk about N-Dragon and his Keystone Kartanas.
Dragon.
Meloetta and Meloetta broken. That is all.
It's a really good semi-stall team. Like this is the personification of this is like an almost perfect rendition of semi-stall in my opinion. Because you just have like 2 incredibly annoying walls in Clefable and Suicune that complement each other so well.
And Crobat is like such great like utility on this team. It's the only
great
frogger,
speed,
but like it's great speed.
Yeah, the speed is just huge with Crobat.
It does. It's a great fighting resist. It like helps out Clef in that regard as well. Like be able to check fighting next to it.
Also, the perfect combination of dual poisons, having a poison to absorb toxic spikes, and then also one that isn't weak to ground.
I think
that was BTown's idea, guys.
I think a second poison is like really important.
I always say having a grounded poison is so vital in League format, and so many people disregard that.
T-Spikes are
a
hazard, honestly. Like
it's not.
It absolutely is.
It's not a necessary like.
It is such a great luxury to have, honestly.
Though. Like a steel type or like a water or a nice fairy, but it's like it's just so nice.
It's such a great luxury to have on the team.
It just deters T-Spikes in prep, and that's so nice to have.
Especially when like there's one like such as like fat and annoying as Drapion is, just like that will come on like random resistance, like random
stuff,
absorb T-Spikes, because Drapion's so fat, honestly. Like Meloetta's been like ridiculous.
Continuing the talk of lower tier of great lower tier picks, Meloetta, though technically that's a cheat because Meloetta shouldn't be tier 4.
It's tier 3.
Also, it was tier 3?
Yeah, it is.
But like Drapion and Gorgeist and Fariana.
Yeah, both of them have been excellent. Plus, I don't know if anyone noticed. Sorry, but I just got to say this. This man picked up a Diggersby and no one noticed.
You're not supposed to say that.
He brought it against me, but Crobat 6-0'd, so it was a bad week.
Yeah, but just like overall, it's been a great season from M-Dragon. Like I know a lot of people like to, like including me, like call him the new Swiss because he kind of showed up to Draft League like with past Mons experience, but with no Draft League experience, and just kind of like ran the table from his first appearance in League, and then like continued it here. It's a great season.
Absolutely
great team.
I think we move into our number 3 seed, which is it's me. So close to number 2. Unfortunate. If only I didn't switch out my Shaman. If I didn't switch out my Miltank, but
what, you have a Shaman now?
I wish I had a Shaman. I love that Pokemon. That Pokemon was my like Pokemon who are people's childs. Shaman is my child.
I don't know what my child is. Maybe Mega B, but like
Megalopony, probably.
Yeah, I guess.
I
mean,
it's
one of
probably.
Like I can't be too upset.
Galade is awesome. I can confirm that after this
Yeah.
season.
Oh, it's so
I
good.
think you really picked up using Gallade later in the season.
Mm-hmm. Azu is
It's-
also fun. This is like my second run with Azu. I didn't use it much in my first run, like at another league, but like this it's been much more fun the second time.
I think it's just a really, really good balanced team. Like it's the definition of balance, if you ask me, and it has all the roles that you want in a balanced team. It's got adequate rockers, it's got removal, it's got good support, like good type synergy. It's got it all.
Right.
And I'm always
Got
been
the
a big
offense.
fan of Torn T.
Oh, I love Torn so much, honestly.
Yeah.
That Pokemon is fantastic.
Yeah, until it misses Hurricane.
Yeah, honestly.
That's like the only thing.
That's
that
the
bothers
only
me
bad
about
thing
it.
about Torn, but honestly, like you just slap
Yeah.
Fly-Z on it and you get like a kill on some teams.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
Fly Z
you
is
know
so
when-
nice on it.
Right. That game was his rash. Like Torn pretty much died turn 1, and then even after that, he was able to like check like 4 more things. Just like
Yo,
crazy.
Torn like nearly died, and then like 10 turns later it was at full. Like it's just so good. I love that Pokemon, and it's been such a great like pairing with Gallade. They just
Yeah,
pivot-
absolutely.
just
It's-
pivot
I
so
think that's a
effectively.
great pair. Yep.
Flygon has done small work, and it's like limited time on the team. Mawile,
Yeah.
despite just dying 4 times, has been like actually not a terrible steel type. Thanks,
I
M-Dragon.
think Maro has been decently okay.
It
like
exists.
intimidate.
It's
Yeah.
been brought. I got up until like week 7. I had brought like Double Blade once. I was like, I'm never bringing this Pokemon. It's awkward. So I just like.
The key to using Mawile is to accept it's not Mega Mawile.
Except Mega
Or you can
Mawile,
just bring
cry a
Mega.
little bit, use it, and use it.
And then cry.
Yeah, like Roserade has been awesome. I love Roserade on this team so much as well. Like,
Oh, yeah, Roser's so
Yeah.
cool. Should we move on again?
yeah, I think so. Number
Who's
4
next?
seed
Is it-
Gassy,
Right.
the man who has literally just got caught like straight fire in the second half of the season.
Absolutely.
Gassy has like, in my opinion, oh yeah, he won his last 6 games. That's like
That is straight
really,
up fire. No,
really impressive.
it's wild. Gassy's been like on fire. It's crazy. I'm gonna say
Yeah,
that again.
I think the only person I think it's 7 of 8 because I think the only person he lost to is Prof.
Right.
He's lost 1 game since week 6.
Right.
That's
That's insane.
insane.
It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy because his team consists of like
Kind
he
of
never
subpar
brings
months
mismatches.
at times.
Yeah. He
Don't
never
know.
brings
I-
Sneasel, I don't think.
He's never brought Sneasel. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
He's never brought.
He's never
Sneasel.
brought-
Magius.
He's brought
Yeah.
Rampardos more than Sneasel and Miss Magius.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
wild.
Which is like wow.
Also 6 appearances for Audino. Can I get some
Wasn't
pogs in
Audino
the
like a
chat?
mistake?
Audino has been really good for him. He's done
It,
very
it was
well.
a mistake. I don't think he meant to draft it at all.
What I think is really good about Gassy, it's just that he's a very offensive player. But he's like been shown time and time again. And like this is not necessarily a put on Gassy, but like hyper offense is not a good
It's not
style of
consistent.
play in draft league, in my opinion.
I think it
'Cause, yeah,
works. It's like it's just so inconsistent. Like you have good matchups and you have like
Right.
terrible matchups.
yeah. When
Right.
you have terrible matchups, there's just nothing you can do, in my opinion. But like he decided, like I still want to run with a mostly offensive squad, but let me throw in a little bit more natural bulk, a couple of defensive pivots. Like my low tick is terrific with Victini, in my opinion.
Milotic
Yeah,
has
yeah.
technically been the MVP. I think that if Milotic isn't there, if there's a different bulky water in that team falls apart in time.
Yep, I can
Yeah, I
agree
think
with
so
that.
too.
I think M-Dragon
Yeah.
was on the end of a melodic sitting. M-Dragon and Frozen both were on the end of melodic sitting in front of a team at the end of the game.
It's just so hard to break with
It
Marvel
is.
scale.
I hate-
It
It
takes
really is.
Yeah, another Pokemon.
It's
Especially
pretty
when
much
you
every
cannot
non-band
set
they
up in
hit.
front of it. Yeah.
you can't set up on it.
Yeah.
Scalds are so annoying because it hits pretty hard
It
with
hits
them.
like just hard enough
Right.
that you can't just like only
Right.
just like run sub X Pokemon like beat it. Not you can't.
Yeah.
You have to run like a lot of investment to deal with it.
Right.
Plus, like really reliable haze.
Recover.
You have like some cool
is-
tech.
is, like, just like standard. I mean, standard recover on something like that. It's like so good.
Literally, you could just run like standard recover skull toxic haze, and it will have a good matchup every single week.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's standard. You can run standard on melodic every single week and just like kill.
It's such a good Pokemon.
Thunderous is good.
Thunderous and Victini are probably 2 of the top 5 best mixed breakers in League, and to have both of them on the team is absolutely terrifying.
With, like,
because either of them could be physical or special at any given.
I love it
I
when
can
Megas
agree
would
with
like,
that.
pivot into those two as well. Like,
Yep.
Megas are like baits and like it baits out like grasses for Thundy, and like Victini comes in on fires for Scizor like really well, and like can throw it back just like, really handily. It's such and Victini is just such a terror to like so many team compositions as well. Like it's such a good, strong balance breaker. Like you get your
so
rocks
diverse.
Up, you get your rocks up. You have to like deal with it that way for the most part, because like you are most of the time you are stacking at least a Pokemon of Victini.
Yep.
I mean, his removal is so hard,
which is like super underrated, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Komo is so underrated.
Oh,
it hits so well for a Dragon Dancer.
It's like so weird, but like it works so well because it has like the Dragon immunities, the Dragon resistance. It's a good knock switch on the Z moves as well. Like
plus it's got tremendous coverage for fairy types.
Exactly. It's got like you cannot predict what coverage it's gonna run. It's got like every coverage move in the world.
Yeah,
it's got so many setup options as well.
Belly Drum, Dragon Dance, like Rock Polish, like physical special really easily. Like it's such a good Pokemon. Okay,
all right.
On to our 5th seed, which would be the Akron Alakazems. Nice. This is such an Adam team. Every time I look at this team, it's just like, hey, Adam drafted this.
When you look at Blastoise's stats, like it looks like it didn't do a whole lot, but it did a lot this season.
Adam loves that Pokemon. It will swear by
it. He's used it really well.
Mm-hmm. He's used
as well as Rotom, I think.
Rotom Heat is Adam's child. I know that Pokemon is his child, and he will swear by
I love Rotom
Pokemon
Heat. I love Rotom Heat. It's such a good Pokemon.
I think if Adam's like drafted like Rotom Heat more times than any other Pokemon he's ever like, I think he drafted it like 4 or 5 times. It is his Pokemon.
Nidoking, I think, has been a really good addition.
Mm-hmm. Like just such a strong Pokemon. Like it's a good fairy resist. It takes pressure off like Rotom.
Yep.
And like since Cobalion's like not a steel type really.
Right. Like that's one of the weaknesses of his team. Like he can be pretty weak to like Dragon Spam, for example, which showed in the match versus like Frozen using Latios against him.
Mm.
And you have to give him a lot of credit. Savali, a lot of people give a lot of flack to Savali, but at the end of the day, it's just a really hard Pokemon to use, and he's used it fairly well.
It's not a hard Pokemon to use. It's just bad, in my opinion.
Explosion was good though.
That was really
that was really cool.
Zygarde 10 has been really good for him. The team is obviously
it's been pretty good.
Staraptor,
good breaker.
You click 1,000 arrows and kill things with Zygarde. Like it's a baby. It's like a baby version. It doesn't set up very often, but like you just throw in Banded and like kill things. It doesn't bring chain growth, which is like a disgrace. But I know he hates it.
Finally did work for him in the last game.
Finally.
And then of course there's Mew. When if you do a well played Mew, you are unpredictable.
Absolutely, I agree.
It's just the most diverse of anything that's like ever been diverse.
Yeah, very diverse team. It's Zydog is.
It's like
really
a bunch of ones that can do like
team.
a lot of different things to you. You have to like try and deal with it, and like then there's a Zygarde team which like clicks 1,000 arrows, and that's about it.
It's just a really well balanced team.
Mm-hmm.
Really fits Adam's play style.
Yeah, Adam. I think Adam really likes his team. He's been on like kind of a cold streak recently, but like.
Yeah, he struggled a bit down the stretch, but like with such a hot start,
he's kind of like
he was able to make playoffs.
Like, in like I think like clinch like final week, but like I think playoffs might be like playoffs always seem like a rejuvenation for some players as well. Like they might like limp into the stretch and they kind of like turn it back up for playoffs.
He had some really good wins as well. I think he beat Prof.
Yeah, he beat Prof.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. He cut it close with you as well, Dragon.
Right.
Yeah, he had some strong wins early that just helped propel him to
And most
He
of his
beat
losses
Gassy.
were almost all of his losses, like barring like the couple he took,
Right.
the couple like his early losses like up to like week 7, like week 9, like were like 1-0, 1-0, 2-0. Like he took a couple
Right.
like really bad like 5-0s like late, which like really hurt his differential.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been like a really strong it's been a really good season for Adam. I think it's been such a.
I think his
Yeah.
win against Lolly was impressive as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, I think it was a really good win for him.
All right.
Moving on to last one.
Moving on to our final
Granto.
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 Liverpoolans.
Yeah. Granto unfortunately got a forfeit loss against Lolly.
Unfortunately, yeah. So you
This is another example of like he struggled down the stretch, but like such that 6-0 start, huge.
Absolutely huge. I still think it's probably like one of the strongest teams in the league, like Premier. Honestly, like
That's such a good team.
Coco Zara.
Yeah, it
is
is.
just a phenomenal pairing. Having the double waters with Toad is really good. Snorlax is a Snorlax.
Yep.
Like,
Elxie has been pretty good, fan. It's pretty good
Switch
pivot. Yeah.
He's got like his top tier threats are really weak to ground, but then he's got like 4 ground,
he's a
5 even
Buzzwole,
ground
like,
responses.
He's a Buzzwole, which like about the best ground resist you could find.
So bad. I hate
It's basically an immunity.
it. Basically,
It might
is
as well.
honestly. It's basically a fighting
disgusting.
in ground immunity. That's to an extent.
Yeah.
Like Steelix is a steel type for him. I know he doesn't like it very much, but I think it's still like probably one of the best tier 5s.
I think Delamis is probably like kind of like an odd fit on this team.
It exists as a grass type and probably mainly more like an arrows. I guess he's a buzz one now, so it's like more awkward.
Yeah.
I know he loves Greninja to death, and Seismitoad. Seismitoad is. I want to defend it as possibly the best defensive water ground type. I think it is because it gets the only thing it's missing is recovery, but it has the rocks and it can actually live grass hits even without a Rindo Berry.
Yep.
It's pretty lightweight, I guess. So grass knot doesn't do much.
Mandibuzz has been an absolute workhorse for him. His stat line doesn't.
Oh yeah.
To me, its stat line doesn't really show what it's like actually been doing for him. It's just been so
exactly
to play against for some teams.
It's stopped him from losing more than letting him win.
Yeah, I mean, Granto's definitely struggled in the stretch. I think he's like had some like IRL stuff have come up and like.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But like, again, playoffs are a rejuvenation for some coaches, and Granto might be one of those.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Him also losing his grounded poison and Mandibuzz being his pretty much only hazard remover. It's kind of odd because like he's been getting T-Spikes abused like a little bit.
Like I know many brought T-Spikes against him. Like you brought T-Spikes.
Charizard and Coco get defog.
Yeah, like when I defog Zardex, guys. Defog Coco's not a bad set, but like.
The defog Coco is not horrible. Yeah.
But like it's still weak to T-Spikes, so like it's gonna.
Yeah.
Still gotta take him on the way in.
Just a good team overall, I think. Really well balanced. Super threatening. I think that's the biggest thing is just when you have such a threatening team, it can cause your opponent to over prep in matches.
Right.
And like then you just like bust out, oh, by the way, there's a rock polish Steelix. Like not bad, but you know what I mean.
You wanna give him like the drum Snorlax or something like that.
Like, you cannot not prep for Dragon Dance, Charizard. If you do not prep, you will auto lose to that mon.
That mon is ridiculous.
Yeah.
If we step back and look at all 6 teams that made playoffs, and I mean, you guys talked about it earlier, but the key theme among them is finding value in lower tiers, finding stuff in tier 3 and below. Each and every single team has a mon that's tier 3 or below that has really come through for them time and time again.
Yep,
absolutely. It's important.
Like Gren has been great for Granto. I think Adam has had like Zygarde 10. Prof has had the broken Geargeist. Not Prof. And Dragon has had the broken Geargeist.
Prof has had Skuntank.
Yeah, Prof has Skuntank. I think Mawile has done some good work for me. Electros has been around. Vape has come to games was rating crocodile
Yeah.
and things for me. Like I've done a lot of work in my low tiers, honestly.
Right.
And like Gassy has had the odd no. Like everyone has like good lower tier mons.
Right.
Yeah,
Alright, so,
yeah.
Playoff predictions for everyone now.
Do we want to do finals predictions and then champion?
I think that's reasonable.
Yeah.
So,
The bracket is like steady. It's not like a reseeded bracket. So like if that doesn't get confusion. It's like
yeah.
the winner of me versus Granto will play M Dragon. The winner of Gassy versus Adam will play Prof.
Prof. Yes.
I mean, what are you guys' predictions?
I'm not gonna pick my game. If I'm gonna pick my game, I'm gonna pick Granto. So
I'm not gonna pick my game either.
It's just us frozen.
Okay, if we're gonna do a little March Madness here,
we are with the bracket
so
master.
we got, so I'm gonna take Boise State here, the Florida Gulf Coast to upset Granto. No, I think it's gonna be Clutch and Adam making it out of round one. Then, honest to God, I think it's gonna be M Dragon versus Prof finals.
Man, that'd be heat.
That'd be insane.
That would be a fun game.
I definitely agree on it being a Prof versus M Dragon finals, though I do think that I do believe in Gassy that he could possibly beat Adam. I think that game is a coin flip to me.
I just think Adam has the matchup like heavily in his favor. If I'm looking at, like,
I agree, but I think that even if we say a rejuvenation,
Gassy
there's
has been
still no doubt
red
Gassy's been
hot.
yeah.
He has been,
Yeah.
and he did lose to Adam, so that does give
That
him
was
an
like
advantage.
week 3, and like I don't think Gassy played that game well at all, honestly.
Right. Right.
So like there's
it's-
been a 11-week gap between week 3
Yeah.
Gassy and potentially playoff round 1 Gassy.
That can be a
It's
disadvantage for Adam because how much prep do you reuse and how much do you
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That'll be a really fun game. I think that's probably like I think both games like round 1 are gonna be like really fun games, honestly.
Premier League playoffs should just be an absolute hoot, as long as they don't take 2 hours.
I mean Gassy.
But I do.
We still got Gassy.
But to
So
be fair, to be fair, I really don't hate long matches because like as long as they're good games,
Mhm.
Yeah.
really, when it comes to draft league, like seeing people strategize and just play a really good game is the best thing in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree.
All right, so BTown, what's your pick for the other round 1 game?
Oh, I have you beating Granto.
Oh man, there's too much pressure now.
I think we all have you beating Granto just because you did lose the first time, and I think your matchup's pretty good.
I think it's better than it was without Nihilego. Nihilego was
Yeah.
terrible. I hate that. I hated playing that Pokemon. Didn't even
It's
do
a
much against
really
me.
underrated Pokemon.
It's so good. All right, I am still. I think I'm on the M Dragon Prof train as well for finals. All right, so I think we're all kind of. I don't know if M Dragon has opinions. M Dragon, do you have opinions?
Like I said, I'm not gonna pick my own game. So as for Cassie versus Adam, I think Adam's got it. Personally, I think he just has too much of a matchup advantage. I think as long as he plays well, he should be fine.
I think I'm on the
As for-
train on that one as well. I think
Yeah.
Adam's.
As for Adam versus Prof, I'm not sure. I think Prof is an advantage again because he did lose to Adam, and he wasn't like focused during that game, is what he told me. So I'm not sure. I think that one's gonna be really close.
That one, I think Adam
Yeah.
versus Prof will be a really good game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Adam's got a really good chance, but Prof might have like a slight edge.
All right, so I guess for us three,
Is that-
who we got winning it all?
Swiss always wins the UPA.
It's Swiss. The answer is obviously Swiss.
Swiss is gonna find a way to win it. I swear.
You would just like put prep out for both teams and like they'll play each other, and technically Swiss would win.
Swiss always wins, man.
I don't know. I think I take M Dragon potentially. By like a coin flip. Honestly, those two are just like.
I can't decide between M Dragon and Prof because or Prof whatever.
Prof.
Prof.
I'm tired. It's 140. It's 140. Okay. Because it's like they're very similar in the sense that like they help each other all the time, and they have very like similar approaches to how like league battles should be done, prep for, and all that kind of stuff. So it's like
the thing with me and Prof is that we know each other incredibly well. We've been helping each other for the past several months, so that's gonna play a huge part in, the prep and the play as well. If you do play, obviously.
If you do play, obviously.
Yeah, it may came down to who's able to trick the other, possibly.
That's pretty much what it's going to come down to.
Some piece of tech that like throws the other off, and it'll be like a complete steamroll potentially. Like...
Yeah, it should be an extremely entertaining playoffs.
Honestly,
considering
like,
it's
this
like
playoffs could go like so many different ways. It's
no
right.
offense to any of the players.
Any of them can win. I know we kind of discounted Granto losing to Clutch and putting a lot of pressure on Clutch, but Granto could just go on a roll. He has Coco Zardes.
Yeah, those two can win games just like on their own in tandem.
Yeah, all he has to do is lead and set up Dragon Dance turn 1.
I think what's really cool about these playoffs is that it's like it's a lot of because you know the drill, like seasons 1 through 3 it was like
Swiss.
It was like it was Swiss, and then like I got like Dreamer got a shot at Swiss, failed. I got a shot at Swiss, failed. Link got a shot at Swiss, failed. So I think it's really interesting to just have this league be so
absolutely.
There are no finalists from any of the prior seasons in playoffs.
A lot of like just like not to toot my own horn, but like myself, Medi, Loli,
a lot of like
Link, Dreamer. These are like
like standbys.
Like we're all players.
Like
yeah, we're all players who have like pretty good history when it comes to the UPA. I mean, like Loli went 11-0 last season.
Yep. Hey, I beat him round 1 with the Crafter God team.
Yeah, I think Loli's really good.
Finals last season, like,
right?
It's just so strange. It's quite remarkable just how tough the league is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this league has been really tough every week in and out.
Yeah, I've like never gone into a match expecting a free win. It's just been like a nonstop grind.
I've had like matchups. I think, this is kind of like favorable. I think if I play this like well, I feel like a good win here. But like, never have I gotten into a match where I'm like, yeah, this is an easy win. They're not good. They're not a good player. No, this is every match is like everyone's good.
Yeah. There's no Swiss, but it's like every player is just has such a good base. It's like we all start on like the 10th floor.
Right.
The floor is way higher than like any other league I've ever been.
Yeah, and honestly that's why that's why the UPA is the GOAT league.
The GOAT league.
Oh yeah, me and Frozen never gave our predictions for who's gonna win it all. I got M Dragon winning it. I just really like the team, and it just, as weird as it sounds, if Swiss isn't going to win this year, it would make sense for a Swiss-like team. Because honestly, you look at a team that looks like a Swiss team.
It kind of does. Maybe M Dragon is just Swiss in disguise.
We do call him the new Swiss for a reason.
Just more Canadian and not British. They've both been on the channel. Maybe there's maybe we can find a way.
I think I also got to go with M Dragon just because I'm on Team M Dragon. But again, I think Prof versus M Dragon finals is a complete coin toss.
We got that game in like week 11, but like obviously like I guess was
with less implications.
It was an interesting game. We both had like 5-minute prep, and yeah.
Our games are like the most fun, honestly.
They're the most fun, but like it's the most scary.
All right, so I think that'll do it for us here with the
All right.
UPA YouTube boys.
All right.
We will.
Thanks for having me on, Clutch.
Yeah, absolutely. Y'all are
Yeah.
happy to have you guys on the channel. So like, we'll be gone. So peace out, guys.